Everybody, welcome. Your Phil's Choice College Basketball, DFS, Pre-Lock Live. I'll get that right at some point before the season's over with. Welcome, everybody, though. Pete Cole here with Chris and Riley, both from Your Phil's Choice. What's up, my guy?
Going on?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
We had a couple shows yesterday. We had a lineup building show in the afternoon, and actually we did well on that lineup. I mean, we cashed all the double ups lineup we built with our subs. Actually, it felt like a point from the GPPs, I think it was. But really good day yesterday. We had a good day Friday. So we've had a really good week with the tournament. Going on to Your Phil's Choice. Check us out, yourphilschoice.com, free Discord. NASCAR today. I see they're posting some cores in the premium room. You had Riley, you had soccer this morning. This morning was a big slate for EPL, right?
Yeah, they move it off the schedule, and then we got some Champions League coming up during the week this week, and some Europa League. So definitely stay tuned. Big week coming up for soccer. So definitely stay tuned to Discord.
UCL in the middle of the week. So
yeah,
especially this week, right? With UCL, we got tonight. We have the March Madness all the picks tonight. So a lot going on. We'll have shows all week. We'll have NIT. Then we'll have that NIT slate with the play-ins for the NCAA tournament. So there is a lot going on this week. A lot of shows, a lot of content, a lot of our cores up and all that. But today we're here for the 4-game championship Sunday. Starts at 1 p.m., so it starts in about 55 minutes. Last game's at 3:30. That's like the marquee game of the slate, the Big Ten, Iowa and Purdue. That's also the highest scoring game, so we want some plays in that. So what we're going to do is go through each game. You guys give me your top plays, your top cash plays of GBPs, do our cores, do a couple prize picks, and then we'll get out of here. All right, so let's get it going. Let's get your Phil's Choice. First game is a 1 o'clock game. So obviously the 12 p.m. game is not an Ivy League game. So we're starting with Atlantic 10. Richmond at Davidson. Is that the first game on our list? Yeah, Richmond at Davidson. We got Davidson, slight favorite, 3-point favorite. Davidson, really good offense. I have them ranked in top 15 in the country. Defense is not bad. Richmond is just good, better team. This is the second highest over-under on the slate, even though it's a 137 game total. There is some plays in here. I know Chris has got some plays. I got a couple plays I like. So let's start off. Riley, you start off with the team you want. Take it from
there. Yeah, I'll take Richmond here. Richmond, they've been on a nice little run. They beat a couple good teams. They beat VCU, I think, which is pretty impressive. So I think Davidson might be in the tournament here I think regardless of a win or not. So I think Richmond obviously is going to have a little bit more to play for here. Richmond, they do shoot the three a lot. They're a decent offense too. I think a lot of people are going to look at Richmond here just because you have Gilliard, who's extremely high usage. I have his, if you kind of look at what he's been doing, the amount of shots he's been taking, he fills it up too in terms of rebounds and assists. So I think a lot of people are going to look at him. He's only 5'9" too, and he's actually a pretty decent rebounder. So I think it really kind of starts and ends with the big three guys here in Richmond, Gilliard, Bird, and Golden. One one matchup I think to look at here is Davidson. They don't really rebound the ball on offense, and that's because they shoot a lot of threes too. They're 7th in the country in 3-point percentage, but they're also, let me see, I think 23rd in offensive share coming from three. So who's gonna get a lot of defensive rebounds today from Richmond? I think this is why my favorite play from Richmond is going to be Tyler Burton here, averaging 16 points, 7 rebounds, block, steal here or there, but I really just love him on the boards today. He has some games here. You can look at his game log. He has 8, 8, 11, 10, 11, 10, 12. I mean, I think in the games kind of where in the situation where there's a lot of shots flying off the rim, he's kind of the guy that cleans him up. And, he has a 21% defensive rebounding rate on the team. I really just like his kind of floor from scoring, but then I think he gets a little boost here from rebounding. So he's going to be my favorite play. I really don't like Gilliard at the price. I think there's some other options at guard, especially that are much better. But I do think Golden and Burton are definitely in play just because of the rebounding factor here. I actually think this game might be a little tight too. You got both teams playing their third game in 3 days. Davidson is going to want to slow the tempo. I think Richmond, they're mid-pace kind of team. I think they might get sucked into kind of the slow grind, just grind the shot clock and then chuck a three. So I think this game might be a little slower than what's expected. I guess you just never know with teams that are shooting threes because they can get hot. But yeah, I'm really going to focus here on Burton and Golden and guards. I'll pass on Gilliard, but I think with his usage, he's a decent option. So.
I know Gilliard gets usage, but his season usage right now is still 19%, which is kind of low even for Gilliard. And I'm not going to pay 8-5. Decent GPP play. He's going to get some ownership of GPPs because because of his name. But really good assist rate. But yeah, I'm not going to pay 8-5 when I got some of these other guys like Ivy and some of these other guys in the same price range, or some guys really cheaper. PrizePicks prop play. I just saw two. Grant Golden is 5-5 on PrizePicks. I got that as an over, definitely on the rebounding because you said, the offense, the rebound rate, which is a decent defensive, but the offense rebounds bad. So I just call both of those guys could definitely be GVP plays today, Burton and Grant Golden. And I'm not really messing with anybody else from Richmond unless you're doing a stack, maybe like a Nathan K.O. or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, that's Richmond. That's all I got. Chris, you got anything from Richmond? And then give us Davidson because we both like one guy from Davidson.
Yeah, I'm keeping Richmond more for GPP plays. I think I agree with him on Golden and Burton. Tried to combine the player there. But on Davidson, I do like these guys a little bit for cash. I've always kind of liked Lee for his versatility. And another reason he talked about the offensive rebounding for each team sucks. And Lee, he has around a 20% defensive rebounding rate. He shoots. I like Lee a good amount. I think I'm going to either have Lee or Bradge in my lineup here. I don't think I can get to them both, but they're both good defensive rebounders. They both do some work. Bradge can really come through. Was his price more before? Just the way the builds are going, I can't quite get to him. I'm probably a little more overweight on Lee. I don't know if he's going to end up in my main or not. But those are the two guys I'm highlighting for borderline cash right there. Outside of that, you had Lawyer. You had talked about if he starts hitting from three, he can get on point. And then we talked about I wanted to talk about let's see here. Jones for Davidson. I think he projects well. He does get 35 minutes or so a game. Okay, his rates are okay. He's definitely in play. Today's a little tough though because you need every dollar you can get.
Yeah.
I think people are a little higher on him than they need to be, but I still think he's definitely in play. So if you get there for cash, I think that's fine. I just want to stay away from getting too many guys in cash from them, but that's what I got from this team here.
I think his best game of the year against Richmond. And that was earlier. And that's when actually we all played him that night. I think he was in the low fours. Seems like all the nights he's been on DFS though, he's had good nights. He had a good night against can't remember who the first game was. It was back in like right around Christmas time. He was on DraftKings. He had a good game. Then the Richmond game, he had a good game, and I think the St. Bonaventure game had a good game too. So he's like a TK player, but that's all. Also, he's in the low fours. Now he's 5-5. But the good thing is he's playing minutes, and I don't know. He could also get you 14, 15 DK, and that's not gonna cut it today. So to me, he's not a lock. But I'm seeing a lot of places saying he's a lock, but I don't think he's a lock. He could be in your line. He could fit in the main lineup at 5-5. But to me, he's not a must play. And I like Lawyer. I'm going back and forth whether he's a cash player or not. But he's had such a good year. Big game last game, 21 points against St. Louis in the semis. So he's second team all in at 10, but leads the country in free throws. He was like top 5 in 3-point percentage. He's showing 45% from beyond the arc. He's just having such a really good season. And just look at his race, man. He's only gone. Let me see. He's 20 points in 5 of his last 6. And he's also scored 30-plus DK in every game but one, I think, since the end of January. So he is kind of shot reliant, but he's been shooting so well. So I like Lawyer at 6. And I also like Lee. Lee is same price. So I'm going to make some laps, some with Lee and some with Lawyer. Probably Lee may be the safer play because we've seen Lee light it up too. But I like her a lot. So there's some plays. Mike Jones said Mike Jones is going to be popular. And then on the Richmond side, a lot of those plays are going to be GVP plays. But you may want to get a piece of those rebounders, like you said, Grant Golden and Tyler Burton. So that's the first game, Richmond Davidson. Next game, we got everybody's success story here. The Texas A&M going against Tennessee in the SEC finals. Nobody was expecting these two teams to be in the SEC conference finals, but here they are. Tennessee 6-point favorite, one of the best defenses in the entire nation. I had them ranked 7th. Texas A&M has a damn good defense, also ranked 54th. So the lowest game total of the day at 130.5 points. So there's not going to be a lot of points scored here. I've been staying away from it, doing building today, besides maybe some value plays. I'm hoping anybody else, jumps on some of these guys and rides some of these hot waves, and hopefully it stops today. But Riley, give us whatever team you want first, and give us your breakdown for DFS.
Yeah, I'll take A&M here. This is definitely not, I think, what everyone was expecting here. Tennessee really made kind of quick work at Kentucky yesterday. I was pretty impressed. And A&M, obviously, I mean, that really wasn't in question either when they beat who did they play? Arkansas. Oh, yeah, sorry. They were impressive yesterday. And from a fantasy perspective, Jackson filled it up yesterday. I was talking about him yesterday. I think he finished with 42, and he went really, really low owned. I don't expect that really today because Tennessee is. I mean, I have them 3rd best in the country in defensive efficiency, so I think A&M might come back to earth. But I think that they are going to throw. That's the kind of game that Buzz Williams, he doesn't mind playing. So I think where I'm really going to look here, I'm going to look inside. I see this game kind of playing from the paint out, which I think is kind of different from the other 3 games on the slate where I think the perimeter will dominate. I think Coleman is definitely in play here. He kind of had a dud yesterday, I think, for his salary. I mean, he only finished he had 10 and 4. Arkansas is a tough team kind of to go inside. And, I think the game script, they kind of just, they separated and I think it went away from him. But I definitely think he's a great player at 6.9. And I love that he had a bad game yesterday. So I think he's going to go lower owned. I think he'll have to have a big game here rebounding because, Tennessee is pretty solid rebounding, even though they don't really have a dominant big man. They have JJ and Chandler and Vescavi and those guys, they're not afraid to go in and get rebounds. So, but I think Coleman is probably the best rebounder on the floor. So I'm definitely going to have him. And like I said, I think he'll be a nice leverage play. I think go under on. I can see this game being very ugly. So I'm going to be underweight, honestly, versus the rest of the 4 just because I don't see the scoring really living up to to what I think it should be. But I really do like Henry Coleman a lot at this price. I think it'll be really nice GPP leverage. So I'm gonna be a little overweight on him here.
Yeah,
On call a lot, actually. I mean, in Tennessee, I mean, JJJ is really their best rebounder.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I totally agree with you. And I hope I'm going from the inside out. I think Coleman actually is the best play too. You get the big three there: Jackson, Tyrese Radford, Boots Radford, and Coleman. You're going to play one of those three. But I agree with your call there. What about Wade Taylor? 4,800. We were talking about him yesterday a lot, and then he had a mediocre game, had a great game. What do you guys think about Taylor today? Because we do need value somewhere, and he does fit 4,800. He's been kind of like as an afterthought today.
I was gonna look at I'm gonna look at. I know it's tough, but I'm gonna look at some Diarra here, Hassan Diarra at 4.1K. He's probably gonna give us 20 minutes. Can he score a little bit? I guess. I think we're going to need some steals here from him. And Tennessee 131st in turnover rate, so they're not amazing at taking care of the ball. Texas A&M though is 8th in turnover rate, so defensively. So I might take a chance here on some Hassan Diarra here to get some steals. I guess you could make the same argument for Taylor. I'll take the 7K in salary savings and hope he gets, 2 steals, couple points, couple rebounds, and, gives me some space to get some more expensive guys in here. But yeah, it's really tough in these championship games. Honestly, more of a general thought from me that, you see these these big games that it's only the guys that they can count on to score are going to get the scoring looks, especially in the second half. So it's really tough to find value, but I'll look at him and hopefully he can give us some stuff off the ball here.
His usage last 5 when he's on the floor, 28%. So, all right, Chris, what's your thoughts on Tennessee? Anything from A&M that we missed or we got?
No, I'm good on A&M. I'm not going to those guys. There's other guys I like better around the price ranges. So, I mean, if you want to throw those guys in GPP, that's at best for them. They're not even making many of my GPP teams. The Tennessee side, the main guy I'm looking at is JJJ. He's been on point. I think 6,400 is a little disrespectful for the price. I think it should be more around 7K. Texas A&M, they haven't. I mean, they didn't shut Kessler and them down 2 games ago. They held them down the first half. But then Kessler and Jabbar Smith came out and did really well the second half. But then they slowed down the guy yesterday, Jalen Williams. We were all on, and we thought Jalen was going to come out. But, JJJ fits in. He's a good price. He's borderline cash at the moment. I'm still deciding on him. I don't think I'm going to get him in. But I think he dropped 39 against them last time. And, at 6,400, kind of like a Race Thompson yesterday. He's a good floor play, I think, and he has a ceiling too. So he can get 25 to 30 here if that's what you're looking for. The other guys, they're somewhat in play. I'm not looking at this game a ton. I like the later games better, but we are looking a little bit at the value here. Usually when you have games like this, there might be some value. And Texas A&M's defensive rebounding is still not the greatest. I would like to say they've done better the last 3 games. They have been super efficient, so that's helped them with winning. Obviously, will they be that efficient today? I don't know. If they are, they're going to give Tennessee fits. But I'm looking at guys like BH, Huntley Hatfield, doesn't BHH, is what I call him, and then at Plavsic. I put them both in play. Both their rebounding's good. Plavsic's just a cheaper, and he might help you save a couple dollars and get somebody you like. So I think they're decent borderline cash fill-ins. Outside of that, I'm not really gonna stress about getting much in my lineup here from Tennessee.
He thought he's brought plastic. It's plastic. He's been topping the phone too on a lot of optos and projections mainly because of the price. $3,300. He gets you 20. Also, that's a tough one though. He's still averaging like 6 rebounds a game over his last 5, but he may be a little bit more popular today than we think. But he is at one spot if you want to get in like a double, a couple high-priced guys because you want Keegan Murray in there. So Plavsic's one of those guys that makes it happen. I just have no faith in Plavsic. What about John Fulkerson? He's like a 9th-year senior. I have a gut feeling something like Fulkerson is going to come in and grab 12 rebounds or something at that price. But GBP only, of course. But I could see them, trusting Fulkerson if it's close at the end. And another price fix. Ziegler, Ziegler. I'm not sure if it's changed, but I had him at 8.5 points, real points. I have him take that over. He's been as the season's gone on. I wrote that up earlier. He scored double figures 13 times in the SEC play, including 12 times over the last 14 games, and his prop's only 8.5. So I can see Ziegler on the court today too. He's getting playing more minutes. So I like Zakai Ziegler over 8.5 points on PrizePicks. Right, enough of that game. Let's get into the Memphis Houston game. Watched a lot of the Memphis game yesterday. They beat Houston now 2 times. Houston's Houston's a pride of that conference, the AAC. But they come in, Houston 3-point favorite. Like I said, Memphis beat them twice though. 134.5 game total. So it's the second lowest. Houston, the 4th ranked defense in the country. I have Memphis, it's the 37th ranked defense in the country. 2 good defenses, but Memphis surprisingly will push that pace. Houston doesn't like to push the pace, so I have a little bit of a standstill there, but I think this game may be faster than people think. Chris, take a team and let me know, but there is a couple plays here I think we're going to be using because I know you're a big Edwards fan.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to take Houston here. Sorry, Riley, to your guys. Obviously, the big question, everyone's wondering if White's going to play or not. A lot of opinions, a lot of whatever. That's going to jump Carlton's usage and so forth. I'm not super high on Carlton. I don't think I'm going to take a chance. I think his foul rate was 4.9 last I looked, or let me see real quick. But the big thing is Robert's value if White's out. He's only 3,700. So with today's slate being so value depleted, you might be able to eat it even if Fabian plays. Or you can try to set your lineup to where you can make adjustments. It's been difficult, I have found. I'm trying to get to where I can make a pivot if need be if White ends up playing. So at the time, I still think he's a viable, okay value even if Fabian plays. That's what I got on Roberts. I'm still deciding on if I'm gonna put him, but I think it's a smart play to go ahead and use him and maybe have a pivot if you're not comfortable with White plays. And my other guy I'm basically looking at here is Edwards. His price went down after yesterday. He gets a lot of usage. He can beat you in a lot of ways. I'm almost pretty sure he's going to be in my my lineup here today. We'll stray away from Fabian, obviously, because of his. I love the guy. I like using him, but just don't know what's going on. And the other thing is back issues can be very tricky. Tighten up in the middle of the game. So I'm mainly looking at Roberts and Edwards here. I will put Carlton as a third play just in case he can stay out of here. Let's look at his foul rate real quick in conference, just in case he can stay out of foul trouble. But, I've learned my lesson with these guys. It's at 4.6. And I think Memphis will draw some fouls on you. So I'm being a little weary there, and I don't know if I want to go in cash, but if he gets the minutes, he could absolutely crush here. And I think, to finish it up, I think Teasmore and Sheed, I think they're decent. I think they're decent fill-ins if they're last spots for you. I don't mind going 2 Houston guys again because their rotation is so tight. and then if you get the value, maybe 2 or 3.
Because I just looked up, as you're saying, and Memphis does draw a lot of fouls, and Carlton is, gets healthy. So I should have said that before we started this game. Yeah. So with White being the game time decision, and the latest it looks like when they were interviewing Kelvin Sampson after the game, because his back tightened up before the game, they let him go. He played a couple minutes. He went up for one shot, that little 4-foot hook over his shoulder, and he couldn't even move. He couldn't even take the shot. They pulled him after the game. When they were doing the press conference, his back was still tightened up. There was no change. So remember now, if he doesn't play today, there's at least a 4-day wait till they play again. They're in the tournament. I mean, I could see them going toward sitting Fabian White today and not taking a chance with the NCAA tournament coming 4 or 5 days. But that's just my opinion from everything I've been reading from Sampson. And Jalen Roberts is really forcing them to play him with his play. They've been forcing them to play him definitely in play and possibly play even if Fabian White does play. I like the Taze White. I like the Taze Moore call too. I think Taze Moore is a nice GPP play. Definitely, he's got a nice high floor, and he's been scoring double figures like the last 7 beside that Cincinnati game. All right, so just to recap what Chris said, pretty much for cash here, we're looking at possibly Josh Carlton if you want to take that chance of fouls, especially if White's out. Kyler Edwards, I think, is a lock. That'd be a core play. And Jawan Roberts is going to be a value core if White's out, but we just have to pay attention to news. The game's at 3:15. Okay, Memphis, Riley. They did well for me last night. Lomax came through for me last night. I like him again today. What do you got for Memphis?
Yeah, they also have some injury news. I think Duran, he left a little bit. I think he left at the tail end of the game. So we could have 2 very big injuries inside the paint here. So definitely you need to watch that. I really wanted to land on a couple of guys here. Yeah, I think Lomax is definitely in play. He had 30. I think he's going to repeat that today? No. Mostly because, he had 4 steals and 2 blocks. I know he's filling it up with steals. He has 4, 3, 5, 2. And he had 5 in the last game against Houston. So I'm definitely going to use him. I think he's going to get 30 again, though. No, I don't. A couple other guys. I think I'm definitely going to use some Lester Canones here at 5.4K. He's been shooting a lot. He's been getting a lot of rebounds, especially I think if White is out and Duran is out, I think that'll help him here too, kind of increase his floor. I also wanted to look at Landers Noley. I think he's going to be kind of their go-to guard here to score. This team, they really don't have a go-to guy when you look at the usage rates. I guess you could say it's Duran or Williams, but it's, the numbers I have, it's like 21 versus 22 versus 20%. So it's you're splitting hairs. He took 18 shots yesterday. He took a couple threes. I think he'll be in control of the ball here. I like him at 6.1K. I think he'll go a little bit underowned because his price actually increased from yesterday, and he didn't have a great game. So I think you're going to get a couple people look off him. I'm going to try to look on him here. I think he's due. I think he'll take a lot of shots. I think he does. He can pass. He can get a couple rebounds. I think he's decent on steals, and Houston actually turns the ball over a decent amount. So I'm going to focus on those 3 guys. I'll check the news with Duran and Williams. I think they're both in play. Williams is definitely in play if Duran's out. If they're both in, I may just kind of look at the guards that I just mentioned here. But I think if Duran is out, I'll look at Williams just because of the inside usage. But yeah, that's pretty much for me. I think I did want to mention one guy I love on Houston that I'm going to be very heavy on, and that's going to be Jamal Shed. I feel like with this Houston team, you kind of get a lot of rotating. You basically your 5 starters. Edwards, obviously, I think we went back to Edwards yesterday, and he had a great game. He had a ton of threes. Shed, he had 33 in the first game, and then he had 19 yesterday, DK points. I think he's due for a big game here. So, I like him as a player. I think he'll get the ball enough. I like his rates. So on Houston, I'm heavily going to be on Shed here.
You called the Roberts game yesterday. This is even before we even knew Fabian White was injured. So you called that on the show, and that was a good call.
Yeah.
So
it was a little beneficial to injury, but I mean, I think they crushed Tulane, so I think everything kind of worked out with what I was looking for. But I think you definitely have to play him here if White's out. I think he'll be 80% owned if White is injured.
If you're looking for darts and you're multi-entering, is Ramon Walker. He had 3 3-pointers yesterday. So,
yeah,
and I know Kelvin Sampson was talking him up as I watched that press conference a little while ago yesterday too. So, but Jalen Duren, to follow up on that. So Duren got hurt, and then he went in the locker room. He was in the locker room for like 7 or 8 minutes, and then next thing you know, DeAndre Williams fouled out, and then next thing you know, here comes Duren, Jalen Duren showing up out of the tunnel and going right straight to the scorer's table, checked back in. His wrist was all wrapped up, and then he dominated that last like 5 or 6 minutes. Yeah. So we don't know if he's playing off of emotion. I mean, if he's just playing off of adrenaline, but it looks like nothing's broken. But Hardaway hasn't said anything else. But yeah, I wouldn't be playing during anything cash today because we have no idea what that wrist is, and who knows what's going on. But he had a hell of finish the game yesterday. Okay, so this game we got Kyle Edwards definitely could be cash play, core play. Jamal Sheed is a sneaky play, Riley says, and then these Memphis guys are all pretty much GPP guys. And I do like Alex Lomax again at 4.9 as a value if you can get to him. Okay, here's the last game, the marquee game, the game you want some pieces of. This is the highest scoring game of the slate. Iowa, Purdue is considered a home team, Big Ten championship. 2 good teams, 150.5 game total. Purdue is favored by 2. So their implied team total is 76-25. Iowa's implied team is 74-25. I got Purdue 1, Iowa 4 ranked offenses. Much better offenses than they have defenses. Iowa likes to push the tempo a little bit more than Purdue. There's going to be some scoring here. We want pieces of it. Me and Chris used Jaden Ivey yesterday, and he came through for us. This is the type of year guys like Jaden Ivey play for in March. So, Chris, take a team. Let's go. Let's find 2 or 3 players we want in our main lineup in this game.
I'll go ahead and take Iowa here. I like both teams, obviously. So I'll kind of throw in my thoughts on the other ones. I don't want to overstep Riley on that. I'll keep that simple. But on the Iowa side, yeah, it's Keegan, man. So we all know that. I think he's definitely in play today. I don't think that you get cute. Sometimes, maybe if you're down, you try to take him out and Fabian's playing, or maybe you're down, you take Keegan out and you take Roberts and you even out the line a little bit. But if, Fabian's in, there's just not enough equity to get different there. You got to beat people other places. But the other guy I do like is Perkins. You can use some guards against. I don't know if he's the exact right fit against Purdue. I'm trying to dive into that deeper a little bit. But the build I have right now, I don't have money left. So I'm looking at guys like Perkins or M. Jones from Davidson. But if I'm going to use a second guy on Iowa, it's Perkins. Bohannon, he's a YOLO. We know he hit the game winner yesterday. He's got 20 in the last 3. His peripherals suck, so if his shot's not falling,
yeah,
I'm going to keep Bohannon for a GPP. But Perkins, he can get some assists. I think he can get some buckets here. So those are the 2 I'm looking. And then on Purdue, I'm going to be pretty heavy on Ivy. I think he's pretty much locked in. I'm putting him in there. And then outside of that, there's some other pieces, but I'll let Riley Riley speak on that. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, no, I think Ivy is. I wouldn't leave. I'd have Ivy. I have him in. I would say like 98% of everything. I mean, if you look at what the Indiana guys did yesterday, and those guys, they're not nearly as good as Purdue in offense. This is number 1 versus number 2 in offensive efficiency in my ratings here. So yeah, Ivy must play. Don't leave him out. One guy, obviously you have Ivy. I think you can look at Edie too. Those guys are tough. I think Trayvon Williams is definitely in play here. 6.4K I think is really the price. I'll take him over Edie just based on value. One guy I'm going to look at here, he's been bad lately. I'm going to use him in some GPP just because of the price. It's going to be Stefanovic here at 5.1K. He's a shooter. He's almost like the Bohannon of Purdue, but he has 5, 4, 9, 10. He's not afraid to shoot the ball. He's a senior, so he'll be on the court. He does some other things okay. I think you got to assume that this game is going to have, let's say, 160 points. He can score. He's shown in the past that he can score. So he's been very bad lately. So it's tough to get to him, but I think this is a good spot for him. Senior, big game, 5.1K, hits a couple threes, then we're rolling. So I'm definitely going to play him, but yeah, Ivy is number one here. So Ivy, Stefanovic, Williams. I really don't like Mason Gillis here, even though I loved him yesterday. Just don't really like the pace of the game here for him. He only had 12 minutes versus Iowa last time. So I think he might get played off the court here.
Why do you think? I mean, yeah, his minutes are fluctuating, but he's starting to come on point here. I really did like Gillis today. We liked him for the same reason we liked MSU for, he's got a 16% defensive rebounding rate. His minutes have always been up and down, but I think they're starting to get him on board here. I don't know. I think I got him in cash. So, is he too big of a guy? Is he slow?
Yeah, I think he's viable because of the price. If he was 5K, I would say run away. But I guess I would say, in my opinion, I'm gonna pay up a little bit more for Stefanovic, who I think he's gonna benefit on the offensive end. I'm not gonna fault anyone for playing Gillis. I should have been more clear. I'm gonna pay up a little bit more for Stefanovic, who I think is gonna be. I don't think he'll get any love in GPP at all. I think we'll get maybe 5-6% on him. And for a guy that's not afraid to shoot, is going to play 80% of his minutes available. Yeah, I'll take my chances here in GPP.
Well, sorry to cut you off. What's the total you have on this game? I'm seeing two different things. This morning I saw 80 to 81, and I'm seeing somewhere else of 75, 73. I don't know. What total are you seeing for this game?
I have the line is 151. A lot of projection sites, like you have Ken Pom and Bartorovic, they're going to be around 160. So basically, every conference championship, you have a group of bettors who they're basically going to run to the window and just hammer the game under. And that's for a multitude of reasons. You have teams playing their fourth game in 4 days or whatever it is, tight game. So it opened. From what I remember, it opened at 157. So it's gotten bet down a lot. But like I said, a lot of that is just this one. There's one big group that just hammers it. But I still think this is going to be the highest scoring game by a mile here.
The other guy I'd like to throw in is Hunter. He's okay price. I'm not. These are all pieces you can use. I'm mainly on Ivy and personally Gillis from the game. And like you said, Gillis for the value. And he did right by us yesterday. He kind of fits in the line I want here today. I think they're all just like you said. You want pieces from this game. So
definitely.
Yep.
Especially if you're paying up for, you gotta drop somewhere if you want Murray. And I think Murray is almost a must use here too. So yeah, it's you got to make decisions somewhere, I guess.
Yeah, you got a couple of guys. I was just saying the Iowa game was back on the 27th of January, and that 12 minutes was sandwiched in a bunch of 30 minutes. He played 40 minutes in overtime, 28 minutes Ohio State. So that is a weird minutes. I don't know if did he get hurt maybe that game or I don't. But that's a good point to bring up because I'm on Gillis too. But you can go right to couple $100 more. You have Eric Hunter, but I still like Gillis. But down these prices, who knows? I mean, anything could happen with these guys. So this game is Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray is your play, is the core play. I think you want probably what you think even Chris for cash, two more pieces you want at least probably, right? You want at least one of Evie, probably of T Will, and then somebody else in this game probably too. I think Ivy's a lock.
Yeah.
Which is right.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, mixed in and out for sure.
So we've got like 4 pieces for this game. I think Ivy's a lock. I think all 3 of us do. So
I just want to add one thing. What do you guys, more of an open question, like what do you think about a contrarian build here in GBP? You kind of fill this game out, maybe use 4 or 5 guys and you don't use Murray. What do you think about that? It's ultra. No,
he gets in foul trouble. He's not automatic bench after 2 fouls. So go ahead, Chris.
I don't know if there's enough equity to do that. Yeah, you can look at, every slate we play, we say that about Keegan. Well, if he gets in fouls, maybe today's a day. Maybe Purdue, they're a little tough inside. He's been matchup proof. It's a high paced game. I don't know if it's high. I don't know what's the pace on that game. It's an up pace for Purdue. It's slower for Iowa, but it's going to be pushed to pace. It's going to be the game of the day pretty much. So I guess there's okay. You just got to find another guy you're comfortable with outside of Perkins. But I'm already
yesterday, and we did just fine.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, but it's also only a 4 gamer.
Yep.
So, no, I totally agree with Chris. It's almost you have to play him here. But
yeah.
GBPs, I guess you can get crazy. All right, Chris, what's your core?
I don't have an exact core. I'm pretty heavy on Ivy. I'm gonna core him. I know, Riley was saying that, and I'm overweight on Edwards. I don't quite know if he'll be in there yet, but that's what I got. And for value, Roberts, of course, if White's out. And then I like Gillis. I'm overweight on Gillis.
Yeah. So I did 4 basically in GPP here. Ivy, obviously. I'm gonna go in with Coleman here. I'm gonna put him on the line for me. I think Coleman's gonna have a monster game here. I went with Canones, Memphis, 5.4K, and then one guy I know you guys mentioned him. Was Lawyer on Davidson at 6.6K. I think he's going to be the biggest scorer from that game. So I went ahead and basically locked him in GBP. And then obviously, like you said, basically just you could almost put Murray in there too. And then I'll just try to scrap for some value down the road and fill it out.
I like Ivy just like Chris, and I like Lawyer like you said. And my top value is value's not that great, but probably maybe Gillis too.
I'll say this. Yeah. Also, if you're down, I don't know. Be careful doing this. I don't do this much. I don't come off my line much. I have done it. It's bit me in the ass more times than not. But if you're really down, like you said, you can look at Walker. Maybe Walker over Roberts and then upgrade somewhere else just to get a little leverage, and find out who's starting. I don't know. I think, but just a little tidbit there, but good.
Walker, that's a really good call. He played good yesterday. So nice call there by Chris. All right. So I actually gave out my prize picks as we were talking, but just quickly, if any people are prize picks players, I have the Ziegler over 8.5 points, Foster Lawyer over 16.5. I think it was it was the Grant Golden over rebounds, Gold and Bird, both over rebounds in this game. So it's 12:45, 15 minutes to lock. I don't see if there's any questions there. We think that is it. 4 games today, and then March Madness starts in a couple days at 6 p.m. tonight. It's Selection Sunday. So, all right. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Riley. Thank you, Mickey, our producer. Good luck today. Good luck today, guys. Let's get one more good game. So that's it. Thanks, guys.
Yep, see you later. Have a good day.
Good luck.
At the bottom of the sea. At the bottom of the ocean.